Now that the ESL is dead, definitely the remnants of war, or of the battle, is still there. There's a lot of questions. Like for example, a lot of fans are asking for the owners to get out. But then the question is, if the owners get out, who would come and replace?
Yes.
Right? Is
Yes.
there a better
Time
person,
some more.
or is there a worse person at the time of crisis like COVID? You know, is it a good idea to get these owners like FSG out? And also, will there be punishment for these clubs?
Yep.
Right? I mean, I will just throw out these questions first. Will there be punishment for these clubs, or will the clubs be fined because they already signed for the ESL and now they are withdrawing? So does ESL fine them for breach of contract?
Actually, the threat already comes out before the ESL died. I think when the FA and UEFA threatens the players that they will not be able to represent their national teams and all that, it's already a punishment already. To them, this is already like, this is your punishment if you go through with this. That's why the ESL died, because they didn't realize the power of the fans as well as the players and also the managers at helm, especially those that has power like Klopp. Right. So from there, going on, why this ESL itself doesn't work is because they didn't discuss with the fans, and now the fans wants these owners out. It makes sense, but like you say, at this time of pandemic, right? The person who's going to come in is the person who can afford 4 billion or 3 billion, and a person who can afford this money will probably be a worse person than the owner that you have now.
No, and it doesn't mean that a person being able to afford 2 to 3 billion pounds to buy a football club, it doesn't mean that they are willing as well.
Yeah,
Especially when it's talking
yeah.
about a pandemic, in the midst of a pandemic, and everything is so uncertain. Would actually somebody, you're not talking about 2,000 pounds or 2 million pounds or what, you're talking about 2 billion or 3 billion.
Yeah.
It's not a figure that many in this world can actually just come up with.
Yeah, from the
So you're stuck with your owner.
No, I mean, unfortunately for now, but we all, I mean, in the recent days, we've read about the different ownership models around the world, and the German model is by far, from what I've read, is by far the most sustainable one, because it only allows up to 50% of external ownership. So and it allows a little bit, like, because they have like a supporters trust, or so they allow like a public interest in the club or as part of the ownership. So yes, there can be a balance to this, because if basically you're talking about renouncing rights, you as part owners, they'll still get to see the money, but not in 100%, right? They will only see 50%, and then the other 50% can effectively be reinvested in the club, because supporters trust is basically a trust, right? They at the end of the day, they should not be ran as a for profit, but rather for club, right? So at least in that sense, the money generated can be reinvested as that form, as ownership, and I hope there's some kind of intervention in the English game, so that this model can effectively come into play, because the Germans are doing pretty well, and if
Das Auto.
I mean, that's the thing, they're efficient, and of
But
course
largely also because that this model for Germany was implemented
Way before.
Way before.
yeah.
So it may not be so easy to actually put it into practice with the English clubs, the Spanish or the Italians or whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
It may not be so simple.
Because you see, the problem is they've already opened doors. They've already opened doors to the Romans, the Glazers.
Yes.
And that is the problem. Essentially, that's the problem. They allowed these billionaires to take these football teams as their hobby.
Venture capitalists.
It essentially is a hobby for them, and that is what it is. So yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I don't mind this 50% ownership. Honestly, if someone else comes and say, okay, let me buy off some shares of United, so I ensure the club can go on, fine. I mean, we need multiple owners who are not looking after themselves only, but for the club.
I think we discussed this before that about for example, one example is Red Bull
Leipzig.
Right? How a system of 50+1 is it can be manipulated? I guess manipulated.
For Red Bull, Leipzig is one thing, but other than that, I think if we are looking at the model of Bundesliga, it's, I don't want to say a farmers league, but it's a one-man league. It's a one-team league. It has been Bayern all the way. So if let's say they are going to implement, it's very hard for them because that's how competitive EPL is. All the expenditures of the club, right, goes in, and then they buy the players.
Yes.
Bundesliga, because of that, for Bundesliga, Bayern has the power to buy players from the other teams, and look where the other teams are. Borussia Dortmund, however strong the players, they have Haaland, they have Jadon Sancho.
But you know, it's just that it's one summer transfer window away from losing them.
Correct,
You always had that feeling about Dortmund players.
Yeah.
You say even when they had Klopp at the helm, right, when they so-called broke Bayern's dominance for 2 seasons in a row. Subsequently, what happened? Lewandowski went there, Hummels went there, Götze went there to Bayern, and effectively Borussia Dortmund collapsed.
Yeah. So I mean, it is probably like sustainable and all that. It works because it has been at the Bundesliga. It has been a Bundesliga model all the while. But Red Bull Leipzig still breaks. It breaks that model. They break the model. So basically, that model itself is not really
They found a grey
secure.
area.
They found a
There's
grey
a grey
area.
area.
Yeah,
There's a grey area. Right, and it may not work like what Mel said because like you said, we already have a lot of these oligarchs who actually have all the money. They can just, like Roman, essentially, right? He can pull out the ESL, and he still has the funds to
Bankroll Chelsea.
to fund Chelsea, to buy all the proper players and all that, and then just push
Same
their
for the
season.
Sheikh.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter actually.
Yeah.
Now there's rumor. I think Mel was sharing the rumor that among us six, that because of the failure of ESL, right, one of the owners is going to put the club up for sale.
Yes,
His club up
it
for
was
sale.
actually reported.
Hopefully mine. I mean, if the Glazers were to leave, then please just go. Why waiting for? You've been waiting for so many years.
But who do you want to take over?
I mean,
Okay, well, who do you think it is?
We'll take over. Yeah.
because there is
Put that
there is
question up.
actually there is this something Radcliffe. He's a billionaire he's a British guy. He's a billionaire, apparently a Manchester United fan himself. So he actually have tried buying the club before. So the talk is coming back again that, you know, if allowed to, he will step in and buy. And then of course there is that other rumors where fans pull in the money together.
We know that that's not
ex-players,
workable.
yeah.
We know that that's
Yes,
not
yes, yes.
workable.
We just-
Come out with
It's not
a
gonna work, man.
fund management. And I'm telling you, the thing is, we've seen crazier things happen, and in the age where we're talking about cryptocurrency, we're talking about money that's not even
Money.
real,
Yeah.
right?
Electronic money.
So like I said, so we're talking about money that's not even real, you know, yielding billions of money out there. You know, it's anybody can buy. The thing is, that's how the world has become. The
But do
world
you
is
think
now
the
a crazy
Glazers
place.
are the ones that are actually putting up the club for sale? Do you think that it's
I
really the Glazers?
believe they are the ones because I feel like it's gonna come back and bite them in the asses because of the legal issues.
Because they were effectively
Of the legal
because they were effectively one of the pushers of this ESL.
Yeah, because
the
I think
advocates of it.
the common
Possible.
denominator is the JP Morgan link connection.
Okay.
So the reason why again they might be just hastily putting the club on sale and all that is because they will not want further legal issues. Because
You got a
at this
good
point of
on
time,
that.
at this
Yeah,
point
very
of
good
time,
point.
because JP Morgan, because we've the only thing that we've not spoken about is actually the bank, right? The bank, because everybody's just talking about these 12 teams, the implications of these 12 teams, but the biggest
The
player,
huge implications, yes.
the biggest player is the bank,
JP
and the
Morgan.
bank has
Yeah.
a reputation to maintain. We're talking about an international bank, the most premier American bank, And we're talking about America as a company, as a country with, you know, essentially almost everybody has to own a JP Morgan. It's like their DBS there. You know, it's so that sort of reputation. And so
Gee, that's a good
when
thing.
it comes
That's a
to
good thing.
Yeah.
when it comes to that kind of PR reputation and image, right? They cannot win. The Glazers, if imagine JP Morgan say, hey, you know, I came into this because you said you will get me into this. Now you backstab me. Everybody chow. I will sue you now. I will. So, you know, the debt, I will penalize you now. So it
Possible,
can essentially
yeah.
happen. I say, I will now double on you.
Wow.
I will sue you. I'll probably also inflict more pain. I'll inflict the
And
maximum
actually,
pain.
the football club could be the ones to suffer eventually.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I mean I'm saying eventually.
No, I mean,
That's the thing.
I really don't like it. Even though, okay,
Yeah.
Manchester, put rivalries aside now.
Yeah.
But I don't like it when a football club actually goes into this sort of problems because of something that was neither the fault of the fans, nor the manager, nor the
Not
players.
players. Yeah,
It's because
exactly.
of a business decision or whatever decision you want to call it that went entirely horribly wrong.
The evils of
Yeah.
capitalism. Yeah.
He's a
It's, I don't think
business
it's fair
venture,
to the
yeah.
Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that they shouldn't be made to go through. Which, I can tell that simply
I
because
also
of
don't want
Woodward's
American
connection.
owners now.
Yeah,
I don't want
I mean-
American
I
owners.
mean-
I want Russian.
I mean, right now, if
China lah, China.
China, yeah, man.
China
That's beating.
because their Chinese league is also bleeding.
Yeah.
Win the top league also can still close down the club, ah.
The league itself, every league is all about money.
Yeah,
no
it's all
matter
about
what
money,
you think about,
like it
it's
or
all
not.
about business, man.
The only one that
It's
has
all-
no money is Singapore.
Yes, we.
Yeah.
yeah. That's why you don't discuss about Singapore,
That's
right? But that's
Remember
the
they
thing.
got jackpot machine.
jackpot machine.
Everything is about the problem is that if let's say the Glazers do sell, they have to sell it at cheap. Example, right?
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then there's
they would still make a profit because
Yeah, because their initial investment
by
wasn't that
valuation
huge.
they
Yeah.
already made the money, and all these years they've been stealing the dividends.
But the owner who's going to take over will have to bear the cost of the debt. So that's a problem.
It's okay. No. The thing
It's
is,
okay.
if you buy the thing about selling is, if you buy at full valuation, you don't incur the debt because you already paid the money. Because the money owing to the bank is the Glazers' problem, right? I'm paying the Glazers X amount of money. I want this club. I'll take it from you.
No,
but
it's like you are buying a house.
yeah, so the
Okay.
Glazers will the one
Yeah.
be liable
Correct.
to the bank. Not,
It's like it
not
doesn't
me.
matter the house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I'm buying a house from Satish, for example.
Ah.
Satish owes the bank like 1 year of mortgage. When I buy the house from him, that mortgage, whatever that he owes the bank, is his problem. It's not my
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Because I sold
Yes.
my product to you.
Correct. So
my-
this is the same. It's a similar
Yeah,
scenario.
so the United as a whole, as an organization, as a club, will be safe. I have no doubts about that because it is too dear to let go. I mean, and of course, it's too huge to also like sink. I mean, it can happen. I mean, I'm not discounting the fact that it can, but you know, I don't think people will allow that to happen. I mean, we're talking about this as an institution, this as a brand. The UK government has probably will come in and have a say. The Securities Commission will have to come and say. The UK Economic Department will have to come and have a say, because this is eventually something that is a business for the country itself. You know, Old Trafford as a business, Old Trafford as because you know, you're talking about vendors or contractors,
Business.
so many people.
Yeah, I think
being hired.
It's still a
I think
business.
maybe you're a bit too confident with your club right there, because I think there are English clubs, but maybe not in the Premier League, that are in the maybe in the lower divisions, right? There is a kind of a Premier League rule that if you can't meet certain financial, or if you're in debt and all that, you will be docked points and you will be relegated
Yes.
and all that, right? So you will have to close down, you know.
No, I mean, if we talk about aftermath, where do we go from now? Let me start. My hope or my wish for this is that, first of all, in the English Premier League, the 6 team who signed up for it, I hope next season they are docked. Like immediately next season, give us like 10 points, minus 10 points. Start from minus.
You
10.
hope
I won.
You won
I won.
I don't want.
Fine as well.
I really want.
Can we
No
just
need
give it
fine.
to you?
No need
Minus
to
all
fine.
our points from your side?
No need to fine. don't need to fine. Are we talking about money, right? At the end of the day, don't need to fine because eventually you're gonna hurt purses, and then we're talking about hurting everybody's purses.
Yeah, and then we all don't have mascots.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So and then now you don't
Yeah.
even have Ozil to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
so the thing is, don't need to fine, but dot points because
Yes.
they floated the idea of this, exclusive league. If that's the thing, prove yourself. If you're top 6, then you climb the table next season. If you fail to climb, that's your own problem. You miss out on European for one season and allow the next 6 to take over and go Champions League.
Got chance
for
for
Arsenal.
Yeah, that's
got chance.
possible.
That
What chance we
would be
miss
the
out?
most fairest. That would be the most fairest thing to do because at the end of the day, everybody will be happy because.
No, I mean it appeases the other 14.
The other 14, yeah.
You have to pay for your sins.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just moot this idea,
Yeah.
drop out, and expect to get away scot-free. I think it's something that is
But
if
that's
you're already
not
top
right.
6, then
Yeah.
if you dot points -10, and then you can still bring yourself to top 6.
I mean, there has to be
But
sanctions.
I
There
feel
has to be
that
sanctions
the
against
fans are the one being punished.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Yes,
Like
the
the players are
No.
being punished, the
The
manager is
fans-
being punished. Shouldn't we really go and punish these
No,
owners?
but like it or not,
Yeah,
is
don't
that
buy the jersey for
like
the
it
next
or
2
not,
season.
as fans, players, or managers or staff, you are associated with the club. And the truth is that when this people are the owners, you are sort of, they are actually empowered. Okay, if you like to say it, they're empowered to make decisions on behalf of everybody. You know what I mean? And like it or not, we as fans, saktama, whatever that they do, right or
choice.
wrong, we have to bear the consequences of it. That's the fact about it.
That reminds me of just now we discussed, right? Having fans greater say. Like I think maybe you explain a bit more. I think Liverpool has their SOS and maybe what SOS stands for, and they have another kind of groups. And these are not fan groups, guys. These are kind
Unions.
of have a very deep history. And should they have more voice or say in the board
No,
or
because,
in
okay,
Liverpool's affairs?
Yeah, because for Liverpool, they do have a union, okay, called the Spirit of Shankly, okay, or in short, we just call it SOS. This union was actually founded during the Hicks and Gillette era, because that was, everybody knew what happened,
The dark times.
during the dark times. So this union was actually set up at that point in time, all right? It's to actually protect fans' rights and also to ask hard questions on the clubs and the owners. Yeah. So, yes, Spirit of Shankly for this ESL saga has been very vocal about their opinions about it. And of course, it was basically all negative and bad thoughts about the ESL. So yes, to like what you said, to have a representation of the fans inside the club, that whatever decisions before the clubs passes, they have to actually consult this fan base because they are probably the best representation of the fans in how they think. So this could be a way going forward, but whether is it really viable and whether would the owners actually take to it, that's another question. Yeah, because whether will Kroenke, like for example for Arsenal, will Stan Kroenke actually come in and talk to the fans
Definitely
or
no.
ask AFTV Robbie?
Yeah.
I'm just happy if the sun at least come out. I
So
don't think he will come out.
same for the Glazers. Whether would they do that? I think it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
There are
Glazers
probably
are
a lot
not
of
even
things.
in the country.
Yeah.
Hey, same as Kroenke. Maybe might be in
The
the same
same as
state.
John Henry. The thing.
So these are masters elsewhere commanding so basically they're running this elsewhere, these operations, and then they expect the power, so now I think they come to realize that, hey, if we lose the fans, then that's it, because
Yes.
they are essentially going to bankroll the club.
Definitely.
Because
Yes.
if they stop buying merchandise, for example, like now I as a United fan, and in a way I want to punish the team, I don't buy jerseys.
You will
Next-
cripple the
next
club.
season, yeah.
You will cripple the club.
I mean, if this is just me, an impact of some guy in Singapore, but what if a part of Manchester decides we're not gonna buy? That's 200,000, 300,000, 1 million Manchester United fans in Manchester itself not going to the merchandise store buying anything for the next season, that's gonna take a dip.
Hit.
It's gonna
It's gonna cripple the
yeah.
club.
So if everybody cautiously takes the decision and say I'm not gonna buy the jersey for next season, that's it. We're talking about millions and millions of sales.
Yeah, depending on the design.
Yeah, that's why I say just now about the merchandise. People not buying because of COVID, but never mind lah.
I mean, people
It's
can
taking a
still
hit.
buy because there's so many other ways to buy. They can
Yeah.
ship it to them, so they don't necessarily have to go to the merchandise like a Liverpool merchandise or Manchester United mega store. They don't have to go there, right? We can order it online and
Yeah,
pick
but
it up.
people not
because
buying the
these
merchandise.
days with
It's a-
social media, I
Yeah,
think what
it's
Safi is
a-
saying is that because of the power of social media,
Yes,
as
that
long
one I
as
agree.
the main fan groups,
Yes.
okay, the main fan pages start to tell everybody that hey, we stay away from merchandise and all this sort of things
Yeah.
for one season or whatever. I mean, football fans, like it or not, they work in a herd mentality.
Exactly.
It's like this guy says that this fan page which I've avid following. Okay, I follow this page.
They
Whatever
follow.
they say,
Yeah,
that
just-
is
I
gospel.
agree.
We just need
Yeah.
Bobby to say don't buy jerseys. That's it.
Yeah, it's gospel to me. Okay, I will not buy it. I mean,
Yeah.
the truth is, many football fans are just like that. Yeah, you may have the odd one out there. Hey, I don't care what they say. I'm just going to buy my jersey if I like the design. But the truth is, I would say 70% of fans are that sort of fans.
Now I in dilemma. Our fantasy league, we promised them jersey as first prize,
Top
second
six, eh?
prize.
Hopefully it's not a top 6.
But then again, it's a hard balance, you see. Because to me, right, the owners, right, they have a business mind, and we need this kind of business mind to maintain the club. We need the business mind to be able to discuss contracts, to discuss
Yeah.
merchandising, sign the brand, Nike, Adidas, sign these kind of brands, discuss with certain sponsors and all that. So we need the business mind to maintain the money coming in to actually sustain the club.
It's true lah.
But we also want the fans' voices to be heard. So it's actually a very hard balance.
It's
To
difficult
have-
to balance.
It's very difficult to
That's what
balance.
they say in corporate world, right? Social responsibility. You can talk about money, right? But there must be some ethics. There must be some social responsibility that has to be followed lah. But now, okay, let's jump straight ahead because I think we have a bit less time. He says he don't mind minusing 10 points, right? What do you guys think? What about what's happened to your club? For me, I think I don't want to dock points lah. Maybe I want I think I want fines. I want fines.
pay fines.
And
It's-
no, I think it's a high, not UEFA standard fines.
Yeah.
You know,
the thing is,
a substantial
Yeah.
amount, and I think we need to do constant
I
pressure by
think-
the fans.
I think, to be honest, okay, we look at overall the 6 of them, okay? Like it or not, Liverpool fan, but I agree with Satish. In order to hit clubs like Man City and Chelsea hard, is on points. It's not about money.
Yeah.
What is money to the Man City owner? What is money to Roman Abramovich? £1 million, £2 million,
Maybe
whatever.
because it's
They
not
can say
Arsenal lah.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Arsenal.
okay, it cannot be Arsenal or fine when Man City points. No, it has to be a common sanction
Yeah,
for all
alright,
6
yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
I get what
So if you ask me, I think the best way to hit the rich ones, which is Man City and Chelsea, is 2 points. It's
There's
not
an
about money.
idea. Actually, I got an idea.
Yeah, but
Stop them from buying players for 1 or 2
Transfer ban.
seasons. Yes, transfer ban.
that's
So that
another
they
way
cannot
lah.
improve.
Oh, nice.
That's
Transfer
another
ban.
way lah. Transfer
Instead
ban.
of fines and points, give them a transfer ban.
I don't think
Stop
the FA has the right, because transfer ban is a UEFA thing.
No, it has to be because as a domestic league, right?
I mean-
if let's say UEFA controls the transfer ban, they have to get the passport or the agreement to be able to play in the domestic league, especially if you're from Spain and all that, right? You need to confirm that you are able to get the working permit and you can play there, so they can stop this. Say by right. So actually, transfer ban probably will hurt a lot of top 6 teams.
Hey, it's funny for Arsenal because if minus points, we are already not in Europa. We already mid-table. If a transfer ban, it kind of stops us from buying bad players. Actually,
No, I think the points is the most realistic, because again, excluding Spurs and Arsenal, I think the other 4 teams have effectively good players at the moment. And talking about reserve team and the youth
Yeah.
players. I think effectively it's okay. They'll be like, fine, if you I'll take the transfer ban over the points because they
Or
have
both,
the
or both.
Yeah, so both will be great because that will be the harshest they can go. Fine will not hurt them. Again, Melvin said fine will not hurt them. It's easy money to them. It's coffee money. If you're talking about,
They'll probably give you double the sum.
how much? Yeah, how much can you even find them? Maybe they find them like what you say, like 5 million, 10 million.
Yeah, the Sheikh will probably just give you 20 million, you keep the change. You never know.
Some of their players already earn that kind of money in a month. You know what I mean? So it's not the money.
This is a very good discussion because in the bottom line is that the FA also need these 6. So even if you say they dock points and all that, right? The fans itself, I don't know whether the fans will be happy because this is our own discussion, but the other fans may not be happy because they have not done anything wrong. To punish the club, punish the owners is better. Money lah, example, for them to find them and all that. If you dock points and all that, right, it's essentially punishing the club, punishing the manager, and punishing the players really. It may not
take the.
No, I mean somehow it has to be like what Satish said. Somebody has to take
because
the hit.
imagine you are a Leeds United player now or the Leeds United team, and I think the Leeds United team has been the most vocal because just before they played, they wear the shirt,
footballs for the fans and everything.
And that basically united all fans. You don't talk about just the top 6 fans, but every other fan, footballing fan, because that's the notion, because football is for everyone and it's not for the money. Earn it in the pitch. So I think
UEFA?
That should be it.
Football
if you deserve to be in the English Premier League, then dock your points and then try to catch us up this time.